right, guys. Good morning here at the Billiard Sports Network. This is the cue ball from the pool hall. Frank Mialetti. I have an amazing special treat. I have Carl Boyes here from Matchroom, along with the legendary Phil Yates. Boys, how's it going?
Absolutely delighted to be here, Frank. And let me just say before we get underway, we walked in this morning, having drove up from Orlando yesterday. We didn't know what to expect. Your setup is simply extraordinary, and it's a privilege for us to be here.
It's a privilege to have you. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
I think Mr. Yates has said it all, Frank. Obviously, we go way back, and I'm sure over the next few days we're going to have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We got some great players here. Mickey Kraus versus Cheng. A nice international contingent here at the Battle of the Bull. He's coming in, getting ready for the big U.S. Open in Atlantic City. All going to be running, traveling, driving, trains, planes, automobiles on Sunday.
I think it's important, though, to point out to our viewers that, yes, obviously the U.S. Open is a massive event, but this one is a big one in its own right. $20,000 to the winner and the commensurate amount of WNT ranking points. So, wow, what a tournament this is.
Yeah, I think someone needs to tell Mickey Kraus that. We're still waiting for him. Other matches are underway.
Give you some of those matches that we have going on.
Yeah, Fedor Gorst has made the quick start against Carl Honey, 2-0. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz, the other big name involved right now on table 3, 1-0 up on Brandon Schuff. Brandon Schuff, by the way, who gave Aloysius Yap a real game last week in winners' qualification at the Florida Open, losing only 9-7. That was one of Yap's toughest matches, wasn't it, Con?
Yeah, what a week it was for Yap, and he's also been tested yesterday here at Wolves Den, getting through a hill match over the young Riku Rompainen.
David Alcady in action right now against Bryson Ace Manipula from Canada. Alcady's winning the first rack. And Chang Yu Long, who came so close to being the Florida Open finalist last week. He potted the 3-ball at Hill Hill against Shane Van Boning and scratched. He's 1-0 up on Matthew Edwards from New Zealand. Sanjan Pilovanovic of Bosnia, 2-0 up on Larry Ennis. Yeah, it's a really good field here. And Edward Koyonjian from Indonesia is also in the 128-player field. So it's like one of those questions you see on social media, Cole. Where is Mickey? Well, we know Mickey Mouse is in Orlando, but where is Mickey Kraus?
Well, I believe he's near the venue, so with a bit of luck, we will be getting this match underway soon. But at some point, he's going to be losing a rack, so he needs to get his skates on. Fedor Gorst has won the opening 3 racks just at the table next to you there, Phil, and he's just a few balls away from winning 4. That's in 9 minutes.
Well, what a player he is. Kwopo Cheng, who's playing in the match we're going to be concentrating on, is known as the little monster. You could make a point and say, well, Gorst is the big monster. He certainly was last year. He was winner of the trifecta, the World Pool Masters, the US Open, and the World Nineball Championship. You cannot get any better than that.
Phil, I know you like to be about 2 hours early for everything. Can you believe Mickey Kraus is 10 minutes late for a match?
You know, look, it's my fault, but it's one of my things. I need to be early for everything. There was a John Cleese movie years ago when he was basically behind time. He was a stickler schoolmaster, and a variety of events happened where he was behind time all the way through the movie, and he got more and more frustrated. And although the movie was very, very funny, I couldn't watch it because I identified with it so much. It made me so irritated, I couldn't watch it. So, yeah, if I was late for anything, well, I just hate it. I was late for a circuit commentary once. Got stuck in a massive pile-up on the M6 going to Leicester for the Championship League. But we did have a team of commentators there, so it just meant revising the rota. It wasn't that the match went uncommentated on. Thank heavens for mobile phones.
Just looking at a couple of Cheng's practice shots here. The table looks to be very lively, very bouncy.
Well, he's lively as well, isn't he? A really good player. Okay. He's now very much a veteran. But if you've been to 2 World Nineball Championship finals, you can play this game. He was runner-up to Wu Cheng in 2005, and he was runner-up to Francisco Bustamante 5 years later. Is it really 20 years since Wu won the World Nineball Championship at the age of 16? It still seems impossible, but it happened. And he won the World 8-Ball as well the same year.
Yeah, and to think he's still a young man as well. It's a shame we don't see him at more events.
Yeah, Kuo is 47 now. I think one of his highlights, he won the gold medal at the Asian Games in Guangzhou in 2010. By the way, talking about the World 8-Ball Championship, Carl, I believe your name is on that roll of honour.
Somehow it made its way on the roll of honour. I don't know how.
Frank, I think we need to get a doctor because for Carl to be modest, that's just not characteristic. There must be something wrong with him.
There's another line coming, don't worry. At some point.
Yeah. The other thing I'm worried about, we've been on air now for 5 minutes and he's not insulted me. So, yeah, we drove up yesterday, by the way, folks, from Orlando, and the idea was that we were going to share the driving. It's 710 miles. So we get to the hire car place and we discover, well, he discovers that he got no driver's license on him. So Muggins, i.e. me, had to drive the whole way. And he vlogged the whole thing. He's going to put it on his YouTube channel. And even though I was doing all the work, he even had the temerity to catch me on camera when I was dying for the loo. And he got me dashing off into some gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we got you singing. Of course, we got you eating. That goes without saying.
Breaking news, Mickey has arrived.
Well, that really is a relief because we wanted to see this match badly. Kraus coming off a semi-final appearance in the Florida Open. And who knows, he might have gone even deeper, but he made I thought, a tactical mistake when he led 9-7 in that semi-final.
You know, one of the great things about this event this week, Phil, is that at the end of the event, there's going to be a lucky winner that's going to get this table delivered to their house.
Yeah, I've got the details on that. It's a raffle. It's $100 per ticket. 150 tickets only. The table that you're going to see all of these matches on, that we're going to concentrate on over the next 3 days, that will be, as Frank said, transported to your home, together with the light and set of Aramith balls. What a prize that is. Four and a quarter inch pockets on these diamonds. One thing, of course, Kraus's late appearance has done is given Cheng an extra few minutes to get acquainted with the table, and that might be useful.
How does this work, Frank? Are we going to allow Mickey a practice rack, or is he getting told to just get on with it?
I think he's going to hit maybe 1 or 2 balls and then get on with it.
That's very, very kind.
By the way, if you want to enter that raffle, and some tickets still are available, although they're going quickly, just go onto the Wolves Den Facebook page and all the details are there. So this is the third Battle of the Ball at the Wolves Den in Roanoke, Virginia. Let me tell you, this is my first time to this city, and what a beautiful place it is, surrounded by the Appalachian Mountains, not too far from the North Carolina border. Very warm today, but lovely and cool indoors because, like everything else at this venue, it is absolutely tip-top. The air conditioning makes it a very comfortable environment, Cole.
Yeah, pleasant surprise walking in. I'm sure the one pocket has been going well. The final's going to be at 1 p.m. today. Beto Ghost against
Roland Garcia.
Roland Garcia.
Well, of course, Roland Garcia and Quopo Cheng have got something in common. They've both been to a World Nineball Championship final, but have never captured the title. Garcia was heavily defeated by his fellow countryman Carlo Biardo, who, of course, just a few weeks ago in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, won the thing again, the first Filipino to win the World Nineball Championship twice.
So, Co is going to be gracious and allow Mickey to have a practice rack.
Yeah, the hair of Mickey does not look tight and gel back, so there you go. Feel like he's not been out of bed too long.
I was going to say takes one to no one, but you've been getting up remarkably early on this trip, Carl.
Shots fired.
That's because I've been hanging around with you, Phil. Been knocking on the door at 7.
Yeah, I am an old fogey, there's no doubt about it. But the thing is, I've been an old fogey since I've been young, so it is entirely on me.
Fellas, we are broadcasting live through WNT TV, the Billiard Sports Network YouTube page, and also through the digital pool platform. So if you are watching on any of those platforms, welcome, especially on the YouTube channel. If you have any questions for Carl and Phil, we'll try to work them into the broadcast.
Looks very sporty, doesn't he, Mickey Kraus? Looks like he might be going down to his local country club for a game of tennis.
Maybe that's where he's been this morning. Better Ghost has lost another rack. 3-2 now over Carl on it.
Yeah, massive disparity in the Fargo ratings in that match. But Nineball is at a leveler, and what an experience it is for Carl Honey to play Gorse, let alone win a couple of racks and maybe even threaten what would be an immense surprise.
No measure, no measure in heart or determination, right, Phil?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you do get some surprises in Nineball pool early in these tournaments. Not as many as you might imagine, actually, but when you do get the odd one, it makes for a really good narrative.
I think we are ready to go.
Here's the lag nearest the top rail. Will break first.
The lag there in black and white. You know, I was telling you about Chang Yu-Long, how well he played last week. Well, he's on a tear again. He's 4-0 up on Matt Edwards on table 2. And Sanyan Pilovanovic, now stopping him, 7-0 up on Larry Ennis.
A lot of power in the break. Made the 1. No look at the blue 2. Going to be the push out. Can't even see a piece of this ball. Taking the jump shot on would be very, very brave. Where do you roll to? That's the question.
I think with the grey hair, Quell actually looks older than he is. Still very, very capable. Not an easy draw in your opening match, is it, for Kraus?
No, not at all. You could see the idea there. Hanging up the green and the purple 4-ball. Kraus likes this though. Of course, he has the option to give it back.
Well, of course, it was his push-out strategy that cost him in the semi-final of the Florida Open, I thought. Basically, he was 9-7 up on Yap, looking good. He pushed out to a jump. Yap knocked it in. The 2-ball it was, funnily enough, the same as this. Dished, had a golden break in the next, and eventually won 11-9.
Well, he went for the pot with some spin and missed it by a mile. Wasn't easy because the cue ball was on the rail. Will be a safety here for Mickey as well. Probably just separate the balls. Use the length of the table. Still a lot of balls on the table for cover. It's not really going to get the job done. I think it'd be fair to say Krause's safety game is not near the top level yet. Something that needs to be worked on. You can see a piece of this ball. He might have a go at the cut. Well, a couple of swipes at a couple of tricky pots, and these balls have got a little ugly now.
Yeah, I think with Kraus's tactical awareness, that's maybe the issue. I think when he knows what to do, he's a very good safety player, but sometimes it's the decision making that you could question, not the actual execution.
Third attempt at making the blue 2 here. Play the bank. Well, it's not happening at the minute.
And as you say, Cole, it's a really ugly table.
Yeah, he needs to get an angle on the red 3 here. That will decide what shot he's going to play. That's a little bit of an angle. I don't know if you can work anything. You can play the hook on the purple 4-ball. He had angles going into it. Did it sit on the 9? If you look at his facial expressions, it tells you it did. That's mighty unlucky.
Yeah, the ugly table had plastic surgery there, but it didn't really work.
There you see, that is what he's dealing with. Should still hit this. It's a 1-railer. Could pot it as well. Another pot up into the upper right corner. Well, you would think it's Cheng who's walked in 15 minutes late. He's all over the show.
Yes, and we were watching him practice for quite some time in preparation for this match, and he was missing precious little. Match environment's very different. Just knocking them around. And that's one of the reasons why Kraus has had so much success. I think he's got a really good temperament. Excellent potter, of course.
Yeah, pretty good shot to get on the 7. He's got angle. Let's watch the rails here. You can see how dry the table's playing. You can really get a lot of spin out the cue ball on this type of setup. There you see, look how much he checked it. He was playing for the other side of the 8. That is wild.
What an extraordinary reaction that was. An extraordinary miss in many respects. It's been an error-strewn rack, but we did not expect the 8 ball to go astray.
Watch the bounce here. This will give you an idea. Yeah, look at it. This is catching these two out this table.
The little monster comes up big, wins the opening rack.
It's 33 years of commentary. Overwhelmingly. I've been so fortunate to be commentating with my friends, and that really helps as well because, of course, you know, you see in the Moscow Cup where we're at the moment, pressure can cause all kinds of mistakes. And so if you're feeling relaxed, it's a great help.
You're not often on this side of the camera, so...
Very rarely, yeah, absolutely. I think because you need widescreen. But it's more about statistics. It's about emotion. It's about, you know, cue actions. It's about past career records, all that kind of stuff. Daunting, so difficult to do. Now seems completely natural. It's just another day. So I went up to meet this gentleman, and he was full of stories, and he got all the memorabilia.
Who was that? Oh, the 9 ball almost went in. Who was that gentleman there, Cole?
Well, I was just thinking, I'm glad we've got widescreen here.
Well, I did say that myself on the clip, in fairness. Self-deprecation and all that, you can't beat it. You wouldn't know about that, actually.
No, I'm certainly heading your way, though, Phil. This is a tricky little pot he's got here. It's one of them little thin ones. Doesn't need to go for it. He can play safe, but he has gone for a few in the opening rack. Maybe that's why he's decided it's not for him, and that's a good hook. Going off the top short rail is pretty brutal, so he's going down here. Have to play with a bit of spin. Just go to the left of the rack, but he's got to judge the English here. And that's where things can go wrong.
This match, because of conditions, is going to be very interesting indeed. He was a mile off.
Yeah, basically, the table's playing very bouncy, very quick. There's no real slide on the cloth or the balls, so everything's just going to respond very quickly. And let me tell you, when a table is playing like that, you're struggling, it can make you look very, very foolish.
Yeah, conversely, when you're playing well, it's nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If he keeps the pressure on here and keeps Mickey in the chair, it could just spiral out of control, this match.
This is the opening round of the Battle of the Ball. The eventual winner will take on the winner of Chang Tzu-Sen or Hunter Frazier, which is evenly poised at 2-2 at the moment. All of the other matches are much more advanced than this one because they started on time, whereas because of Mickey Kraus's late arrival, we're lagging behind.
It seems the safety early on in the rack might be the order of play.
Well, Kraus missed the 8-ball in the first rack. He missed that hook by the proverbial country mile in the second. And Quo leads 2-0. Other scores for you, Fedor Gorst. It was 3-0, then 3-2 against Cole Honey, but now Gorst is 5-2 ahead. The great darling of the Vietnamese pool public, Duong Quoc Wang, 3-1 upon Josh Roberts. Looking good for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz on table 3, 5-1 over Brandon Schuff. Looking good for FSR's bosom buddy, David Alcady. He's 4-1 on Bryson Ace Manipula. Walter Laker, fine prospect from Sweden. He leads a former Italian snooker champion. Pierre Francesco Garcia, 4-3. Louis DeMarco, 4-2 up on the young Indonesian Edward Kyunjun. It's 2-2, Sullivan Clark and Neto Gomez. And 5-1, Chang Long over Matthew Edwards. So 10 matches going on simultaneously. Just a reminder about that extraordinary raffle that's going on. What a fantastic prize it is. So basically, if you went with us for the first rack, it's $100 per ticket, 150 tickets maximum available. And if you are drawn out, your prize is the table we're looking at, which will be shipped to you. It will be the light and a set of Aramis pool balls. So for $100, that's what you call a bargain.
Yeah, one lucky winner will win that prize.
And to enter, all you do is you access the Wolf's Den Facebook page and proceed from there.
Seems to have relaxed a little bit now. Sometimes that can be the case. I'm sure every pool player listening in and watching on has felt that way at the table. Watch outside pocket. Oh, wow.
Well, is the early bird going to get the worm here? Is Quo going to move 3-0 up? He was a fraction away from a calamitous scratch. Quo does lead 3-0. Quo in front. The status quo might be shaken up here because given that he ran to the semi-final of the recent Florida Open, you would have said that Mickey Kraus would have been favoured for this. But Colin, I'm not saying this happened to you on a regular basis, but when you walk in to a pool room and immediately play and your preparation is far from ideal, that's not ideal either, is it?
No, obviously you come in and you've not really, settled into the environment. I know he's been here a couple of days. He played in the one pocket as well. But listen, he knows he's late. You kind of walk in and take on a few shots, half asleep, a few swipes, and now he's got work to do. And he's 3-0 down and he's breaking. And look at the break. He's on the blue too. He's just got to play a couple of rails here and try and find that gap in between the 9 and the green 6.
I want to move that template from being overhanging. By the way, in the interests of closure, John Cleese movie I was talking about earlier, Clockwise, released in 1986.
I'll put that to the list, Phil.
It's funny, but I hate it because it just pushes all my negative buttons.
Yeah, because the table's dry and bouncy. You could just play it with a bit of right. Kind of use the spin to pull it back over. That'll do. Orange 5 ball. That looks... Yeah, just have a nose and see if it goes in this bottom right corner. I think it does. So if he lands straight on the purple 4, this could work out okay. Got a bit of an angle. He'll roll through. Probably use the top rail. Put a bit of right spin on it as well. Yeah, look at the cue ball. Just comes over towards the 5. And just look at the difference. He looks a different player.
Yeah, he missed a few in the opening rack.
Look at the face of Mickey Krauss there, Phil. I think that tells a little story.
Yeah, going so deep in the Florida Open last week, and he had some really good wins there. I thought coming here he would be highly motivated to win this, because then he would have been in a very powerful position to challenge for those Moscone Cup places. And who knows, have a good US Open, could be in the Reyes Cup as well. The rest of the world side.
Yeah, interested to see what shot he plays here. Double J talks about this a lot. Instead of trying to come across twice to play for the 8 in the obvious corner, just come across to the left side of the table, land near the rail, shoot it in the bottom right. Well, he's held the line. He's going to play a thin one on the 8. Cue ball's going to be going up and down though. How is the pace? Needs to slow down. It's workable though, that will do.
The third annual Battle of the Bull opening round could feature quite an upset. Kuo Po Cheng leads Mickey Krauss 4-0.
Hello guys, I'm Feder Gorst and you're watching Billiard Sports Network.
Call in your lengthy and illustrious career. Big difference. In your illustrious career, you've had 4-0 leads. You've been 4-0 down. What's the mindset from both perspectives?
Yeah, obviously you're just delighted to get off to the right start, but you know, I've lost 2 big matches in big tournaments from 4-0 up. So one thing that does kind of teach you is, well, don't take it for granted. You know, you still need chances. Just like rack 5 here, he's broke off, good break. He's got to look at the blue too. He's got to forget about the scoreline. He's got to just take care of these racks. We've seen it so many times, haven't we, Phil, where these matches have got the beautiful thing about just turning on its head. Just from the smallest little error, you know, you make, you know, a silly little positional error, or, you know, some sort of foul, or you miss a ball, it can cost you 2 or 3 racks. Didn't really play that with spin, so I opened on the purple 4. Have a look.
By the way, quickly on table 6, this happened a short time ago. Stanyan Pilovanovic defeated Larry Ennis 9-0.
Well rescued here. Got to look at the orange 5. Look at the bounce off a couple of rails there. It needs to slow down. You can see with the bird's eye view. Look there. This is quite a little thin one. This won't be going in the pocket hard. It'll just kind of trickle in. Oh, he's missed it. He tried to play it with check. Hold the right spin.
We're always looking for turning points in these matches. Have we just seen it there? Manna from heaven for Mickey Krauss if he can salvage this rack. Looked the world over as though it was going to be 5-0.
Just needs to go. He'll have a look, see if this drops in the side. I think that's very tight, so he may go cross bank or long down in the lower left corner. Going cross bank.
And in it goes, off the mark, Mickey Krauss. It should have been 5-0. In actuality, it is 4-1. Have we seen the pivotal moment in this opening round match at the Battle of the Bull?
Yeah, it's funny how you were just talking about it, Phil. And this is what can happen. He had a great opportunity there to go 5-0 up. He didn't take it. Played just one poor positional shot. Then he missed the 8. Now 4-1.
On the table just to my left, that's why I'm talking quite quietly at the moment. Fiddle Gorst, 8-2 up on Carl Honey. Playing safe at the moment, of course, but needing just one more rack for progress. And I can tell you, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has won his contest. I will give you the precise scoreline in just a moment.
Yeah, good look at the break. 2's over this corner pocket. All the balls are there. Looks like the red 3 to the purple 4 is going to be the key shot, to be fair.
FSR beat Brandon Schuff 9-1. And just to repeat, Schuff in winners qualification at the Carib Royale Resort last week at the Florida Open ran Aloysius Yap to 9-7. And we know that Yap went on to lift the golden palm tree trophy.
Seemed a strange place to leave the cue ball off the opening shot. Trying to come up in between a gap that wasn't really there.
We're being told that Brandon Scherf has a shoulder injury, so that would account for the heaviness of the defeat. Obviously, FSR is capable of beating anyone 9-1, but on what we saw from Brandon at the Florida tournament, I was surprised, and now we know the reason.
If you can see a piece of this, it's not a lot. This is going to be a thin one. It's easy to miss the whole ball. Actually, a really good safety shot. Using the 8, using the 9. Mickey's coming off the top rail. Trying to use the 8 ball himself. Well, he went 2 rails. He's put it over the pocket. Yeah, the fact that it's landed near the rail makes it a little bit more difficult. Got to go all the way up for the orange. Okay, this match is turning a little bit here. Wants this to slow down, but he wants an angle.
On table 9, Gorst is very close to victory over Cole Honey. But the 9 ball he's left himself is far from a formality. I'll let you know as soon as it goes in or does not, as the case may be. He did clip it down the long rail, and so Fiddle Gorst beats Cole Honey 9-2.
Yeah, Fedor will be back in just over an hour's time for that one pocket final. I know you're looking forward to that, Phil.
Immensely. I've never seen live a one pocket match. My exposure to pool has been entirely 9 ball, so yeah, really looking forward to that. The tactical brilliance of the players. It was 4-0, but these things can change like the wind. 4-2 now. Mickey Kraus right back in it and keen to get the balls back on the table as quickly as possible. The positive energy has returned to the Dane.
Hey everybody, I'm Shane Van Bonen here. I'm watching Billiards Sport Network.
We just heard from Shane Van Boning there, Carl. How do you analyse what happened to him in Florida? I think it's more positive than negative. Obviously, he was dejected to lose in the final, but collectively in Orlando, I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, listen, some people may think he let one go, as in the final, but listen, he's up against Aloysius Yap, and a couple of little things either way can cost you matches when you're playing at this level. But I'm with you, I think he's got to go into Obviously, this tournament, the US Open, that's the big talking point. He's got to go into it fairly happy. He looked great on the cue to me.
That was a pretty good shot from Kraus, killing the white with check side. Yeah, Van Boning, right from the word go in Orlando, right until he went into his semi-final, he was absolutely dominant. Clearly not dominant in his semi-final. He only won it 11-10 against Cheng Long, and then was beaten in the final. But in his first 7 matches at the Carib Royale Resort, he was in a league of his own.
It was a good hit. There was no real kind of kick and save kind of thing. You were just relying on a bit of luck. He didn't get it. Kraus is in to try and pull it to just one behind.
One thing about Mickey Kraus, he's very marketable. He's very stylish. When he goes deep into a tournament, it's good for that tournament. Speaks well. Technically very good. Excellent potter, not slow in any way. And of course, he's got a really good CV.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Kind of just takes all the pressure off you a little bit. Just don't want to be landing short on the brown 7. Make sure you get straight or above it. Yeah, you see where the cue ball's landed? He's made sure he's come past it. Past the potting angle, that is.
In this game, you cannot afford to let up on your concentration for a split second. For all intents and purposes, Kuo Po Cheng was going to take a 5-0 lead. Now it's 4-3 and Carl very much game on.
Yeah, these are the fans that have come in early doors. It's just approaching midday. And these are the other tables in action. Just a big, long row of tables. You can see all the TV screens above each table as well, so the people watching get a real idea of what's going on. Great feature.
Can't speak highly enough of this club, obviously. I've not spent a great amount of time in pool halls in the United States, but I have snooker clubs in the UK, and I'll tell you what, this is absolutely top-notch. It really is. Food's good. Atmosphere's terrific. Tables play beautifully. They're well spaced out as well. What a facility this is. Right in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. We're not too far here, Carl, from Bristol, Virginia, which is right on the state border, and that's the birthplace of country music. That's where the original Carter family went to record the first songs that were now known as country music. And of course, the Carter family legacy extended right up to Johnny Cash, because he was married to June Carter. So you're in a historic place if you're a country music fan like me. And of course, Bristol is home to the Bristol Motor Speedway as well, famous for NASCAR. We came past some incredible NASCAR sites yesterday. We went right next to the Daytona 500. We went next to, or very close to, Darlington Motor Speedway as well on the way up.
Yeah, you were telling me it holds 150,000, is that right?
Something ridiculous. And also, on the road here, we went past the Richard Petty Museum. And of course, Richard Petty was the gold standard for NASCAR.
Well, I kind of touch on the safety game of Kraus. He's left him straight in. This is going to be the big shot in the rack, though. He's got to get on that red 3 ball. There's the 9, the orange 5, the 7 ball. It's all a little bit awkward down there, so he's got to try and play a nifty one here and find some sort of gap. Could come down towards the 9, but it's a small window. If he comes over to the right, he's got to land in between the 9 and 5. He could probably take a gamble here and come down towards it. Yeah, see how he's trying to come down? All in all, it's not bad.
I think it's very important for Cheng to make his presence felt again. Momentum is a real ally in pool. Mind you, I think in terms of momentum and all of the things we say about it, all of the rules were thrown out of the window in one match last week at the Florida Open. The John Morra Jesus Atencio match. It defied the norm. Basically, Morra went 5-0 up, didn't put a foot out of place. Atencio came back to 9-5, and you thought he's a certain winner. And then out of nowhere, in the 15th rack, he missed that easy 4-ball, and Morra eventually won 10-9. So, yes, momentum can be a friend, but it can be an unreliable friend at times.
That was a better shot than it looked. Very, very thin, just to give himself a look here. And even though he's got the lead, you kind of feel like he needs this rack at the minute.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Played that with right spin. Played it well. Make sure you try and come down to leave yourself a straight 9 ball. You don't want to start leaving yourself one of them little tweaky ones.
Oh, switching hands. And the rack goes to the left side of the scoreboard. Cheng arrests a slide of 3 racks. He's back in front by 2 at 5-3. So he has answered a question there, and I believe Frank has got some questions for us.
Got a question here from Hef Cottrell. He's asking both of you, what is the best food you've had so far being here in the States?
Well, there's a lot to choose from with me, I can tell you that. I must put my cards on the table here. The food in America is just so good. I absolutely love it. The only problem is I can't make my mind up what to have first. It's that good. I think the steak we had in Orlando was very nice, Carl. That would be my top.
Yeah, I think I have just had, what was it, biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, I'm converted you to that, haven't I? Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever had it. It's pretty nice, actually. It doesn't look nice on the plate, but it's actually pretty tasty.
Also in the deli at the Carib Royale Resort, the Cuban panini was to die for. Where's that cue ball? Oh, that's a turner. That is a turner, because look at the table.
I was still thinking about food then, Phil. That wasn't bad we had last night, to be fair.
No, that's right. Yeah, we had a burrito that was, very tasty. If I gave you the list of all my favourites here, well, I think the match would be over before I'd finished. Clam chowder, I love French onion soup in the States. It's just different league.
I think if you kept going on about food, Phil would be here for the fourth Battle of the Bull.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to get this one right. Again, when you got a steep angle and the table's boingy and responsive, you've got to be playing well. You got to have a real good feel.
Now that's the shot that Mickey Kraus is so good at. He makes it look really easy. He's got such a natural potting eye. So we'll see this 9-ball go in, and then I'll ask you a question, Cole. So, in terms of Kraus, who's now back to trailing only 5-4, what's in the bag?
Well, I don't know what's in Kraus's bag because he's not an easy man to pin down, and he's been in between cues a lot. So I asked him a while back. He was like, "Oh, I'm not just yet. I'm sort of in the middle of doing something." So I kind of waited. But listen, he can't even show up on time for a pool match. So what chance have I got?
I can tell the fans that from a snooker perspective, when I first started covering the game in 1988, players kept their cue forever, basically. But the culture has definitely changed now. You still see players stick to a cue for quite a lengthy time, but other players, Scotland's Steve Maguire, who's a 7-time ranking event winner, being the prime example, he changes so often, which 20 years ago would have been considered insanity.
Yeah, I think Ronnie's just got another new cue as well, hasn't he? I think he's playing out in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I heard he's got a new cue anyway.
Yeah, I think he needed a new cue because he smashed the old one at the Championship League.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
He can play with anything. He can play on anything. He's the best bad table player I've ever seen. He's the best good table player I've ever seen.
Another safety from Mickey has gone wrong. He's left him the full ball. And Mickey has put himself in this bad spot, straight for the jump cue. He's going over a couple of balls. I think he's just playing for the hit. I don't believe he goes past the 8 in that upper corner. If it does, it's tight.
The way this match has gone, Carl, how competitive it's become. Very good choice for the main table.
Tester here. It's straight. It's queuing off the rail. Gonna just roll it forward. Yeah, nice. Landing on the rail may not help him though. Does the orange 5 go past the 8 ball in the side pocket? If not, he may have to play for the same pocket as this purple ball. missed that by a long way. So concerned about getting on the orange, wasn't he?
Oh, it stayed onto the table. It stayed on the surface. Bloody gravity. The shift in momentum continues. It's swapping around shot to shot now.
Kraus is in disbelief. I could see him just to the right of where I'm sat. He was looking down the line. He was baffled why he didn't fall.
Well, I must be honest, I thought it would go. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't 100% paying attention to where the 4 ball was hitting, to be honest.
While Kraus walking around the table, another couple of results for you. Cheng Long, who won heavily in several matches last week, he beat Matt Edwards 9-1. David Al-Kadi recorded an identical win over Bryson Ace Manipula.
That was a good shot with what's happened so far. Look at the cue ball bounce off the rail. It's almost like the cloth has got no slide on it. Looks new. Don't believe he played the cue ball that way. I think he was trying to come below the 9. Anyway, he won't care. It's this 9-ball for another 2-rack lead.
Yes, a 2-rack lead as the line is getting ever closer. Kwopo Chung leading 6-4. So these are the matches going on right now. Wong Kok Wang on the hill against Josh Roberts at 8-4. Now, the Chang to Chen match is quite interesting because the winner of that will play the winner of Kraus or Kwopo Cheng. 6-5 at the moment to the player from Chinese Taipei. Walter Laker, the real prospect from Sweden, the country, of course, that's produced many a top player. 7-5 up on Pierre Francesco Garcia. Louis DeMarco on the hill against Edward Koyonjian of Indonesia at 8-4. And Sullivan Clark and Neto Gomez slow going 4-4.
Good break. Where's the red 3 going to go? Is it going to block the pot? I believe it has.
Of course, we must reiterate that this is not single elimination, so the loser will get another chance, a repechage, as they say in the Olympics. But you don't want to go to the loser's side as early as this, Cole.
No, and you don't want to go there because, you know, you've played poorly. kind of fancy him to make this. It's not that difficult. He's right-handed, so he's tall as well, so he can reach it. He's getting on the red 3, that's the issue. Yeah, there was them balls there. That was always going to be the problem. He'll kick at this ball. He'll go off this. Well, he's kept the jump cue in his hand. Yeah, he feels like he can get over it and control it, but the 9's a little bit far away. He's got to be careful here. So good with the jump cue now, aren't they?
Well, it's revolutionised the game, and that's not being a victim of hype. It's just the truth. It's revolutionised the game. Mind you, good old-fashioned safety awareness doesn't do any harm either. That could be a really telling hook. First thing Kraus did was to get down at his knees, see if the green 6 was in the way. Is it, Carl? Is it?
I think you could probably just get through to this, but the angle looks like the cue ball's going towards the brown 7. Can he sneak behind it, or can he risk and play off an edge? Even if he can go behind it, it's so tough to see from here what is available. I think he's just got to pot it and take a bit of a gamble. Sometimes you just have to do that. He's not going to like the outcome of this. Just to check it up, straighten the ball up. Done well though. Especially if this lands in front of the brown, it has done. Oh wow. Do you like these?
Must be honest, I'm impressed with Cheng. I don't think he played a very good opening rack, even though he won it. But ever since, he's giving Kraus a real battle. Of course, when it comes to Chinese Taipei, I think we're all still getting to grips with the fact that Chang Yulong is now, Chang Junlin is no longer with us. Chang was an absolutely phenomenal player who died very unexpectedly and suddenly at the tournament in Indonesia recently, and the whole pool world grieving his loss still. I know that Jeremy Jones and you, Carl, were big fans of his game.
Yeah, you know, and we often say this in comms, you know, he's one of my favourite players to watch, but he was one of my favourite players to watch, you know, years ago, and even, you know, playing him, even when I was in the tournament, I wasn't playing. I just liked the way he went about the table, you know, so smooth. I thought he had such a wonderful cue ball control, and yeah, he was a real tough player to beat as well.
Yeah, his passing was a real shock, but we have to celebrate his life and his career, which was very good indeed. This is looking very good for Cheng.
He'll just play this with a bit of left, come twice across, play for the 9 in the side, or corner, so it will be the side now. That's ideal, by the way.
Well, could Kuo Cheng be taking the Mickey, i.e. Mickey Kraus, out of this match? He's 7-4 up. Now, talking of Diamond Billiard products, I'll tell you about an exciting opportunity. Oh, after the break-off, we've seen this before, where Kuo scratches, leaves the table wide open, and Kraus gratefully steps in and clears. And he could easily do the same thing again.
Yeah, when you're trying this cut break to come off the side, back into the stack, back in towards the 9, if you like, that kind of area, it's so easy just to put a bit of too much power into it, a bit of draw, and that is the end result.
Yeah, so the exciting opportunity I was telling you about. There's a raffle going on here. To enter, go onto the Wolf's Den Facebook page, and you will be surprised with the prize on offer. It's $100 to enter, 150 tickets available, and the prize is a set of Aramith balls and this table you're looking at now. The table that will be played for the next 3 days by the world's leading pros. Oh, as Kraus gives the advantage back. And will also be the stage for the final of the 9-ball, and indeed this afternoon the final of the 1 pocket. So what an opportunity that is, and what an opportunity it is for Kuo Cheng to get to the hill.
Yeah, what a big mistake in a big rack. 7-5 in a race to 9, opposed to 8-4. Well, you don't need me to tell you the difference. That is huge. The breathing space Kuo Cheng could have if he knocks these 4 balls in. Wants the cue ball to slow down a bit. Maybe able to just drop it in the side, but ideally, you want to be shooting it in the corners. Decides he was fine, he was straight enough to play it into that side.
Since mid-2024, Mickey Kraus has been a regular winner. But the way things are going right now, if he's going to win this battle of the ball, it might be the hard way. And that's because Kuo Cheng is on the hill in this opening round match. He's leading 8-4, 4 up, with a possible 5 to play.
Yeah, let's not forget. He scratched on the break. Mickey had ball in hand. Listen, Mickey's got no one else to blame. Very tough to win matches on the WNT as it is, let alone coming in 15 minutes late. Obviously rushing around. I'm sure he won't feel good about it, of course. But coming in, and things just always have a knack to go wrong, don't they, when you're not prepared, right?
Yeah, the pool gods turn their back on you. Mind you, they turn their back on Kuo there, breaking dry.
Yeah, he's done pretty good there, but you could see kind of signalling where he needs to cue. He's going to make sure he draws it past the purple. Oh, he's missed a 2-ball. He is still in bed. I mean, I don't know if he was in bed, Phil, by the way. I'm just joking.
Metaphorically.
You wake up with 57 messages from your obviously text family.
Look at the reaction he got on that cue ball, as well as being a pretty good pot. Arguably the best shot of the match at its most important time.
Yeah, he struck that beautifully, he really did. You kind of felt like, I don't want to say that was the 9-ball, but he's getting him in the rack, isn't it? It's giving him full control. It's giving him the chance. He knew if he got that shot right, he could win the match. And he has a chance to.
This is the point where he will be feeling really good. Yes, he's had a good career. He's been to 2 World 9-Ball Championship finals, as we discussed at the top of the match. But he was the underdog for this match, and now he's an overwhelming favourite. Mickey Kraus in trouble, even though the cue ball has got away from Quo to a certain extent there.
Look at the spin bite off that rail. Wow. It's amazing how different the sport is on a cloth what slides and a cloth that doesn't.
We saw that remarkable positional shot from Kraus earlier when he played with lots of check side, and he came on the opposite side of the 8-ball to that which he imagined, and he missed that 8. That was in the first rack, and ever since, he's been behind. The status quo has been shaken here at the Battle of the Ball, and that's because Kwopo Cheng has defeated Mickey Kraus, who was a semi-finalist at the Florida Open last week. He's beaten him by 9 racks to 4. Kraus goes to the loser's side of the draw. He will have to win this Battle of the Ball in the hardest way possible.
All right, guys. We're going to shut our stream down for now. We're going to come back at 1 p.m. for the finals of the One Pocket, which will be between Roland Garcia and Fedor Gorst. You can check that out on digitalpool.net/Wolf's Den. You can also go to the Wolf's Den to participate in any of the raffles that we have coming up. And we will see you again at 1 o'clock. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.